and gentlemen, I need to adjust something on my camera real quick. It's been a long time since I busted this bad boy out. Okay, so if you don't know me, my name is Adam. Nice to meet you. Shake my hand digitally. How are you? Nice to meet you. Firm handshake. It's good. That's what I like in a woman or a man. All right, so what I'm going to do today is this is my way of experimenting with doing some sort of dancing in the studio since no one else is allowed to be here. I kind of have a setup. You probably notice I have chairs or maybe a line on the floor so I know where I'm at. Filming yourself without anybody else there to film a whole body thing is harder than you might think it is. It helps to have somebody there. So I'm going to do my best to keep everything within this little boundary that I have so you guys can see everything that I'm doing. I do have the mirror set up here so you can see a different angle. I don't know if I'll be too small or too big. We'll see where it is. So we're going to do some West Coast swing today. I'm going to try to play some music. I found some royalty-free music on there. We'll try to play it, see if it comes through. If it doesn't, we'll improvise. This is my first time trying this. And if this works, we'll go to some live stuff afterwards. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to take a few paces back so you guys can see my feet. And I'm going to jump in and see what happens. So what we're going to do today is we're going to learn how to do a sugar push and West Coast swing, which is essentially what people know as the basic. Now, before we get into it, I want to make sure that we can all do a simple little exercise with our chest and with our body, something that maybe you didn't realize that you could do. If you've ever rowed a boat before, rowed a boat, if you ever rowed a boat before, or ever at least pretended, if you got a rowing machine at the gym or whatever, you've probably done this. So something we're going to do as part of our sugar push to not only teach you how to do it, but to give you some style with it, is to kind of get your chest involved a little bit. It'll not only be better for your technique, but better for your comfort, and it'll look really cool while you're at it. The man and the woman can do this, leaders and followers can do this, it doesn't matter. So what we're going to do before we get into the dance, I want to see if you can row the boat. So what we're going to do is I want you to pretend, put your hands out like this, right? I'll do this from both sides so you can see what I'm doing, right? Then I want you to pull the oars forward, which will send the oars actually backwards, right? And as you do that, I want you to bring your chest forward. So I want you to, almost like you're doing a push-up, to bring your chest and your fist towards your chest and your chest towards your fist. Pow. Notice how like I'm not moving very far. I'm just kind of leaning in and out, doing this action. Notice how as I lean in, my hands get closer together, or my hands get closer to my body, excuse me. Right? I'll do it from this side so you can see different angles. Pretty much the same, just the opposite, but sometimes this works. But again, like you kind of lean in, right? And then push away. So you lean in. Now this time, instead of like pulling it in like a fist, what we're going to do is we're going to keep our hands flat, and we're going to lean in forward as if we're doing an actual push-up. Again, it's very similar to like rowing a boat. We're bringing our arms to our body and our chest to our arms, right? So I'm not just doing this. Notice how like it's not just me moving my hands, but it's me kind of, I'm bringing my hands in until they can't go anymore, right? And then as they get just slightly past my back, I'm bringing my chest in with it to create like this little kind of, like almost as if like even though there's nothing in front of me, I can still push myself away from it because I'm creating my own resistance with my body. Now, this may feel a little awkward at first when you try it, and you may even feel like you're just kind of doing this, which is normal. Give yourself time to get comfortable with it. And if you're not quite to this level yet, if that doesn't feel comfortable for you, just work on bringing your hands in, right? And maybe just kind of like leaning over your foot for a second, just changing weight to your front foot, which I'll show you here full body here in a second. Right? And so just from the front so you can see, all I was doing was bringing my hands towards my chest, and then I was kind of like leaning my chest towards my hands. And you may even notice that you might even be leaning a little forward on your front foot, which isn't a bad thing. Okay? We're going to use this concept to make our sugar push more comfortable. Now I know this is a little hard to imagine if you've never seen a sugar push before, so I'm going to do my best to give you an idea about how to do this. And it's also just a great way to learn how to dance by yourself. So even if you're not doing a sugar push with anybody else, you're learning how to move your body, you're learning how to move your legs, you're learning how to dance to a beat, and you're learning how to dance alone, which I think is very awkward for a lot of people. So no matter what you're doing today, we're going to do this. I'm going to try to do this with as little editing as possible so that you guys can just kind of feel like you're in the classroom with me. I'm not going to try to edit anything. There's not going to be big production value. I'm just going to get in here and do this damn thing. We're going to have fun with it, and I hope that you do, enjoy it. Maybe tell your friends, hey, I got a cool teacher at Arthur Murray. Ooh, that was loud. Also, I apologize if it's a little echoey. I'm used to the studio absorbing more of my voice when there's people in here. Okay, so the sugar push. We'll start with the leaders part first, we'll do the followers part second. All right? So, what the follower, or the leaders part starts with first is his left leg. So he'll take 2 steps backwards. So he'll take a step back 1, and then when you take your second step back, you're going to make it a little bit smaller than your first step. Right? That way we can, essentially, if you're dancing this with an actual person, this allows them to get closer to you, but it also kind of gives you a good way to stalk yourself. Right? So just the first 2 steps again goes 1, 2. Now here is where we're going to do our third step, which you can do what we call a tap. So tap is either when you put your leg out to the side, or it's when you just kind of tap your foot just slightly beside you, right? So I'll show you from the front angle real quick. Either you tap your leg out to the side, or you tap it in. But notice I'm not standing on it. I'm just putting it down, all right? So what that means is we go 1, little step 2, tap 3. I'm more preferable to tap inward. Julius, if you're watching, do this one, right? So you tap your foot, then you're going to step forward on your left foot, then you're going to do what we call an anchor step, which is just a little series of triple steps in place. You just go 1, 2, 3, right? Nice and easy. So it goes 1, 2, tap, step forward, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, I'm going to expedite this, because you can just go back and rewatch this later if you want to. I'm going to kind of go from newcomer straight to bronze here. So now the reason I had you do the chest thing earlier, leaders, and if you're a follower, I think it's still good to learn this. So don't tune out waiting for your part or fast forward. It's good to learn this because you need to know what your leader's trying to get you to do. And it's also just another move you can learn when you're just out there dancing on the floor by yourself, or if you go to a party and no one else knows how to ballroom or swing dance, you can do this. So I encourage leaders and followers to learn both parts. Just have some fun with it, right? So by the end of this video, I'm hoping that anybody who's watching will get an idea how to do both parts, right? So we go 1, 2, tap, step forward, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, tap, step forward, triple step. Now, the chest thing, and then we're going to get to the followers part. The chest thing, when we do our tap, and here's where you can do the chest part. I really want you to emphasize kind of bringing your hands in, kind of like that push-up thing we were doing, but your hand's going to come closer down here. So you're going to go 1, 2, and ordinarily if you're dancing with a partner, you would catch their hand here. So when you tap out or tap in, it doesn't matter. Sometimes I even tap forward, right? You're going to bring your chest your chest out and your hands in to create that push-up feel, right? So what that'll look like, again, is 1, 2, puff the chest out like Superman, right? And then you just do your normal step forward, and then you just relax, and then 5, then 6, right? So we're kind of pulling our chest inward, or upward. Why do I keep saying inward? You know what I mean, that way. I'm looking at myself inverted on my camera, so I'm actually going backwards this way as I go this way. It's really disorienting. All right, so we go 1, 2, chest out, then step, triple step. 1, 2, chest out, then step, triple step. And that allows your partner to get closer to you. And if you don't have the partner you're dancing with right now, it's a great way to kind of feel a little bit more rhythmical as you dance. Because then you can just kind of do this when you're not dancing with anybody and just kind of have some fun rowing the boat. Rowing the boat. Yeah, I know, don't judge me. All right, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Bring it in. 1, 2, puff up the chest, step, triple step. Good. All right, so if you need to go back and rewatch that, go back and rewatch it. Otherwise, I'm going to do the followers part now, and we're just going to just see how this rides, right? So what we're going to do is followers, you'll step forward on your right foot, which is weird if you already know how to dance. Usually you're just stepping backwards. So you're going to go 1, 2. You're going to take your right foot. There's a couple things you can do here. The easiest one, I think, to learn is to do a little triple step forward. So you're going to go triple step, triple step. So, but if that's a little bit too tough for you right now, what you can do is you can just tap your foot, like the gentleman does. So you can go 1, 2, tap your foot, step back, triple step. And notice how when I step back, I'm stepping back on the foot I tapped with. So 2 steps forward, 1, 2. I'm going to take my foot, do a little tap, tap, step, triple step. Again, that's for if this is very new for you, go ahead and do a tap there. Actually, some people, even if they're advanced, like the tap there. That's just the style they chose and the one they never let go of. So that's not really, it's beginner friendly, but it's not strictly a beginner move. All right? So then I'll be doing a triple though, because that's the one that I kind of got accustomed to. So you're going to go 1, 2, triple step, triple step. Now, the chest thing for the lady or the follower is the same thing for the leader, right? Now what's going to happen is you go 1, 2, whether you do your tap or whether you do your triple, which is why I like to do triple forward, but you're gonna as you do your tap or your triple, you're gonna bring your chest forward and you're gonna bring your hands slightly in. Now, since your hands are going forward, you're actually gonna get a little closer to your hands than he will because you have to lean into him or to her if she's leading. It doesn't matter, right? And then we step back, then we relax. So we're gonna come in, bring in the chest, send it away, triple step. Right? So we want to kind of get that rowboat feel we were doing earlier, getting used to kind of leaning in and leaning out. Right? So that's our basics so far. So whether you're the leader or the follower, we're going to do both parts again, so make sure that you can switch just like the teachers do. You always ask how do teachers learn so quickly. This is how. We do both parts, baby. Right? So once more for the followers part, and we're going to do some with music. I'm going to see if it'll work well. If it doesn't, whatever. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to do that again because I stuttered through that. 1, 2, bring the chest out. 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Last one. 1, 2, chest out and back. Triple step. All right? Okay. So we're going to put on some music. We're going to do 4 reps for the leader, 4 reps for the follower. I'll tell you when we're going to switch. And we'll just bounce back and forth that way for a little bit, get some extra practice, and I'll give you a little something extra at the end of the basic just to give you a little bit more rhythm into the whole thing. All right, so hang on. My music's over there. Enjoy no one being here. Hope you're all having a great day. It's going to be a good day. So we're just going to see how this whole thing rides out. All right. Alright, we're going to go for it, see if the music makes sense. Ready? 5, 6, leaders part, go. 1, 2, chest out, step, triple step. Again, 1, 2, chest out, step, triple step. 1, 2, chest out, step. One more time. 1, 2, chest out, step, triple step. Good. We're going to go and do the followers. We're going to switch back and forth, get our brains working. Ready? Followers part, right foot forward. Here we go. 5, 6, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, chest out, step, triple step. 1, 2, chest out, step, triple step. 1, 2, chest out, step. All right, we're going to switch to the boys part again, or the leaders part. Ready? We can do this. Here we go. Take a breath. Woo. 5, 6, left foot back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, let's do the girls' part or the leaders' or followers' part one more time. Ignore my stutters. Here we go. Whew. 5, 6, ready, forward, go. 1, 2, chest out, triple step. 1, 2, chest out, step, triple step. My music went off, but that's okay. We're going to do one more for funsies. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Well, now it comes back on when I'm done. Can't have anything go right around here. All right. How we doing so far? See, this feels just like you're in a classroom, right? Adam has to go over and turn off the music, come back while you're all waiting to dance, talking amongst yourselves, just like if we were all here. All right, guys? Okay, so that was the sugar push, leader and followers part. Again, whether you have someone to practice this with, or you don't, I don't want you to worry about that too much because, again, part of this is about building rhythm, part of this is about building confidence in your movement, getting comfortable dancing by yourself. So I would encourage you, even if you have a partner with you in the room right now, or if it's your significant other, or whatever, I would encourage you to still learn both parts, because at least if you don't, even if you don't dance them physically with one another that way, it's still good to get that feeling of how that's supposed to, well, to feel. So don't be discouraged if you don't have one to practice with, and again, I'd encourage you to practice both parts anyway. And also, just if you don't have one to dance with, turn on some music and just practice this. Bam, bam, right? Just kind of bring it in. It still looks good even if you're at a wedding, which we'll all get to go to eventually. And you just do that. People are like, oh, that person knows how to dance. They're moving their arms, moving their feet, they're moving their chest. They look pretty comfortable with their dancing. Why not? All right, so before we wrap up here, I want to show you a little something extra, because the West Coast Swing, I should come closer while I'm talking to you. The West Coast Swing is done in a group of 6, or a count of 6, I should say, during their measures. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, which we still have 2 more beats if you want to count a full phrase. Now, the way most West Coast music is written, it doesn't really matter if you dance it in 6s. That's kind of the point. It's all about accenting certain beats anyway. But if you're a little bit more rhythmically inclined, sometimes hitting that certain beat right when that measure starts in the music or that new phrase happens, bang, it just hits a certain way. It feels more musical. It feels a little bit more like you're moving to the beat. So knowing how to get to that, a full count of 8, can be a little difficult in West Coast Swing if you're not used to a little bit more advanced maneuvers down the road. So I'm going to show you a nice simple way that you can do that without feeling like, without feeling weird. And where good news is, we're going to use that rowboat exercise, that rowboat technique, or that push-up technique to do this, okay? So, I'll show you what I mean. So, whether you're doing the leader's part or the follower's part, it doesn't really matter, because what we're going to do is we're going to do some chest stuff at the very, very end, which is pretty much the same but mirrored on that part. So I'll show you what I mean. So from the sugar push and the leader's part, it goes back 1, 2, right? And then we do our chest in or out. I keep saying in because it's in towards your partner, but it's out from you, so you know what I mean, right? So this is 3. We step forward 4, and we do our anchor step 5 and 6. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lean in a little bit onto our left foot. We're going to go 7, and as we do that 7, we're going to bring our chest forward again as we bring our hands slightly in, just like with the sugar push. So this is 7. This invites, if you are dancing with a partner, to get close as well. And lean back 8. So notice as I'm doing this, I'm kind of pressing into the ball of my left foot and pushing away. That kind of helps keep me balanced and give me some leverage without feeling like I'm going too far forward or too far backwards, right? As opposed to flat footing it, right? So again, my head's not going anywhere, it's just my chest. So if I did my anchor step, I just go 7, 8. And now we're back. We're back to beat number 1. So everything counts in 8s, right? So from the top of that, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. And then we're ready to do it all over again, right? So we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. And if you're dancing alone, or if your partner's not there or whatever, add a little bit of your own flair into this, right? So you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. Right? Give yourself a little something, even if it's just a little snap. If you can't snap, just keep rubbing your fingers together. Eventually it'll happen. Fun fact about snapping, did you know it's not that your fingers are making much noise, it's that your middle finger's smacking your hand. Isn't that crazy? Alright, so followers. So followers, what we're going to do is we're going to do our basics just real quick, just to kind of catch up. So we're going to do 1, 2, we're going to do our triple step or our tap, 3 and 4, again doing that chest pulse, 5 and 6. Now we're going to bring our weight just slightly over the right ball of our foot and bring our chest forward, 7. Notice how when I do that I get closer to my hand, 7, I push away, 8, like a little mini push up, bump, butt on, bump, butt on. This kind of gets you used to kind of getting your body involved a little bit instead of just dancing with your feet. Which again, there's nothing wrong with dancing with your feet, but it's a little bit more fun if you can put more of the body into it. Also, if you're looking to lose weight or get some abs, a good way to kind of get your get your core and your chest working a little bit, get a better squeeze in those upper back muscles to work on posture, right? So if we go 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, chest pulse, 7, 8. Ready to do it again. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. One more. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. All right? So that is a little bit of something extra for you. I'll put on one more song, see how it rolls. I apologize if it's really loud during the camera. We'll just see what happens, all right? So I got one more for us. Just hang tight for a quick second. Promise not going to take long. All right, we're going to do the leaders part first. Ready? 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pulse. 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pulse. 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pulse. 7, 8. All right. Don't let the followers part for each. Just take your time with it. Take a breath. Here we go. 5, 6. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5, and 6. Pulse. Pulse. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5, and 6. Pulse. Pulse. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5, and 6. Pulse. One more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5, and 6. Pulse. Pulse. Whew. There we go. All right, gang. Now, I tried to make that as much like a class as I could. A little tired myself. I turned the heat on. I'm a little sweaty now, so I should probably turn that off. So that was a sugar push with a little extra something at the end, a little pulse action to give you a little bit more of a musical feel to your dancing. I hope that was fun. I hope that was educational. If any point you were feeling like you were falling behind, just always feel free to just pause and go back, right? Just go back. Again, as long as these are pre-recorded videos, you can go back and rewind as much as you want. Actually, even during live streams, which I'm going to try to do soon, you can always go back and re-watch something and just catch up on the stream later. So if there's anything that you don't understand, don't get discouraged, don't click away, don't close the video. Go back and check it out again and just get comfortable with it. And leave me questions. That's the last thing I want to say was, leave me questions. I really want to do right by everybody. I want to follow up with any questions if there's anything that doesn't make sense, or if maybe my sound quality was bad, or if you couldn't hear me well, if you couldn't see me well. Any of those things, I'm doing my best with what I got here. But let me know what you think, all right? And in the meantime, I hope you guys are all being safe out there, taking care of one another, taking care of yourselves, very important. It's a crazy time that we're living in, but you know, it's not the worst in human history. And if humans can make it through all the awful things that we've encountered in the past, I know we can make it through this too. And I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but it's not impossible. Nor is it improbable. We just have to give ourselves some time and give the world some time to heal. All right? So hope you guys are doing well. Stay safe out there, and I guess we'll see you soon. Turn off the camera now. Bye.